How many times have you felt distant from God, as if something was missing in your relationship with Him? Maybe you pray, read the Bible, go to church, but still feel like that deep connection, that life-changing intimacy is missing. You're not alone. Many of us have been there. But what if I told you there are 3 spiritual lessons rooted in God's Word that can completely transform how you relate to Him? Lessons that aren't just theoretical, but practical, and have already changed the lives of thousands of people. Today, I want to share these lessons with you because I believe that just as they transformed my life, they can transform yours too. So, open your heart and join me on this journey. The first lesson that transformed my relationship with God was understanding the true meaning of prayer. Often, we treat prayer as a list of requests or a ritual we need to fulfill. But prayer is so much more than that. In the Bible, in Matthew 6:6, Jesus teaches us, "But when you pray, go into your room, close the door, and pray to your Father who is unseen. Then your Father, who sees what is done in secret, will reward you." Prayer is about intimacy. It's about opening your heart without masks, without fear of judgment. It's about trusting that God is there, listening to every word, every sigh, every tear. When I understood this, my prayer stopped being a monologue and became a dialogue. What about you? How has your prayer life been? Has it been a moment of true connection with God or just another item on your to-do list? Think about it. The second lesson that transformed my relationship with God was learning to trust His timing. How often do we want things to happen on our schedule, right? We want immediate answers, quick solutions, and when that doesn't happen, we start to doubt, to question, to pull away. But the Bible reminds us in Ecclesiastes 3:11 that He has made everything beautiful in its time. God is not late nor early. He is in control. And when I understood that God's timing is perfect, my anxiety decreased and my faith grew. I remember a time when I prayed for something for years and nothing happened. Then one day, at the right moment, God moved in a way I could never have planned. That's when I realized He not only hears our prayers, but also knows the best time to answer. What about you? Have you been able to trust God's timing even when things don't seem to make sense? Or has impatience been stealing your peace? Reflect on this. The third lesson that transformed my relationship with God was discovering the power of serving with love. Often, we think spirituality is something individual, something that happens only between us and God. But the Bible shows us that our faith comes alive when we put love into action. In Matthew 25:40, Jesus says, "Truly I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me." When I understood that serving others is serving God Himself, my spirituality took on a new meaning. It's not about grand gestures, but small acts of love in everyday life. A smile, a word of encouragement, a helping hand. It's in these moments that we feel God's presence in a more tangible, more real way. What about you? How has your service to others been? Have you found opportunities to love and serve, or have you been closing yourself off? Think about it. Because when we serve, we not only bless others, but also draw closer to God. These 3 lessons, sincere prayer, trusting God's timing, and serving with love aren't just biblical concepts. They are invitations to a deeper, more meaningful, more intimate life with Him. But I want to challenge you today. Take a moment and reflect. Which of these lessons resonates most with your heart? Is it prayer, which needs to become more intimate and genuine? Or is it trust, which needs to be strengthened even when God's timing doesn't seem to make sense? Maybe it's serving, which needs to take up more space in your life as an act of love and gratitude to God. Whatever your answer, the important thing is that you take the first step, because transformation begins when we decide to act. And God is here, ready to walk with you on this journey. And now, I want to invite you to put these lessons into practice. It doesn't have to be something big. Start small. Set aside a few minutes today for a sincere prayer, as if you were talking to a loving Father who knows you deeply. Choose to trust God's timing, even when the circumstances around you seem challenging. Remember, He is in control. Finally, find a way to serve someone this week. It could be a family member, a friend, or even a stranger who needs an act of love. When you put these lessons into practice, something incredible happens. Your relationship with God transforms, and with it, your life does too. So, what will you do today to draw closer to Him? Share in the comments which lesson touched your heart the most and how you plan to live it out. And if this video spoke to you, share it with someone who also needs to hear this message. Remember, God is always near, ready to guide you, strengthen you, and transform you. All you need to do is take the first step. May God bless your journey. Until next time.